sure we've all come across that one person who loves to ask questions like,
when are you getting married?
Or,
when are you having kids?
Especially during the holidays. It's like, dang, can we just eat, laugh, and have a good time?
Why you asking all these questions?
If you've ever felt pressure to answer any of these types of questions or felt uncomfortable, this video is just for you. Because today we're talking about why you don't have to answer those cringy questions, how to handle them with grace, and why setting boundaries is so important, and not just for you, but to keep the peace in the family. But before we get into all that, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos, okay? Now let's get to it. All right, so here's a couple of reasons why these types of questions, like when you getting married, when you having kids, are you gonna go back to school, are so inappropriate. And the first reason is because they really devalue our choices and put pressure on us to meet certain cultural and societal expectations. Like, why is it that society believes certain milestones like getting married or having kids are the only ways to measure someone's worth? It's like they're basically saying, until you do these things, you're of no value. But spoiler alert, that is not true. Everyone's aging experience and their personal journey is different. It's not one size fits all. And that's okay. Honestly, if our journeys weren't so different, would we even be able to celebrate the diversity and the uniqueness of aging? No. So don't allow these expectations to make you feel like your aging experience is less than because you haven't reached certain milestones that society came up with as important or valuable. Now, the second reason these questions are inappropriate is because they are heavily rooted in ageism. Yup, you heard me. Ageism is when people make assumptions on the basis of age. And this plays out in these intrusive questions. Think about it. When a person asks you, when you get married, they're assuming your life should look a certain way. You know, oh, you're over 30? Well, it's time for you to settle down and check something else off of your list. You should be married well into your career, have a kid or two, be living in a home that you own. And when you do not, they're assuming something must have didn't go real with her, right? She or he or they ran off the track some type of way and they need to get back on it. But putting those assumptions that if you're not at this level by this age, you're doing something wrong, is very harmful for a person's aging experience. And it could have an impact on that individual's self-esteem. So again, life is not one size fits all. We really need to start rejecting the notion that age should dictate when we start hitting certain milestones. It's not about age. It's about your own individual path. We can define our own milestones. Personal story. I was at work the other day. We were having a little celebration and they, opened the floor up for people to share what they got going on. Any accomplishments, celebrations, all of the things. So one person said, I just became a grandparent. Another person said, my son, he just got engaged. And then another person was like, I'm an uncle. And everybody laughed. But I was like, because we really need to shift our views on what a milestone is and make note that it's whatever you define it to be. So here's where we get into the good stuff. Setting boundaries. And let me just tell you, this is something that's so important as we continue aging. And not just during the holidays, but our everyday interactions with people. Now, let me just say, it is a process. Like, I am still working on setting boundaries. It is not easy for me, okay? But it is a muscle that I believe the more I practice, the stronger it's going to get. And we are all about progress over perfection, okay? So here's something I want you to keep in mind. Shutting down questions that make you cringe and you don't want to answer is not rude. It's self-care. You don't owe anyone an explanation about your life choices or your timeline. If you're not comfortable talking about something, that is okay. We can shut that ish down if we want to. I want you to remember that this is your aging experience and you age your way. So So let's get into how we can respond to these cringy, intrusive questions without losing our cool and keeping the peace in the family. Number one, respond with humor. Sometimes humor is the best way to ease tension. Like if someone asks, girl, when you gonna settle down? When are you getting married? You could be like, well, I'm still waiting on my Prince Charming to show up, but I'll keep you posted. Laughter disarms people and helps shift the conversation without being harsh. So if humor is your thing, let that be your go-to. The second way is by redirecting the conversation. For example, if you just got engaged, right, and they're already asking, when is the wedding? When is the wedding? Or y'all gonna have kids? You can say something like, I'm really focused on my career right now, and I really want to make sure I'm ready for the next chapter of my life. How about you? How's work been going for you? You see what I did there? I shifted the focus back to them. And now they're the one talking about something they care about. And the third way is be direct. Sometimes you just gotta keep it real. If someone keeps pushing, don't be afraid to say, I'm not comfortable talking about that right now, but thanks for asking. It's direct, it's clear, and it doesn't leave room for any further questioning. So there you have it. Ways to handle those cringy, intrusive questions. The next time somebody asks you, when you gonna go back to school? When do you plan on buying a house? When are you gonna balada? You simply have some ways to handle those questions, whether it's with humor or redirection or straight up being real and direct and saying, I'm not talking about that right now. Don't let anyone steal your joy this season. Set those boundaries, protect your peace, and remember, it's your life, not theirs. Let me know in the comments, what is the most intrusive question someone has ever asked you? Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss next week's video, where we're going to be talking about being age inclusive during the holidays. So you don't want to miss that, all right? That's all I got. Happy boundary setting. And in the meantime, in between time, you be blessed, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.